Hello, my dreamlings. It is time for episode 2 of reacting to Seth videos with Dan. This time, my wife, my lovely moth wife, Cozy, is deciding to join us.
Hello, I am Moth Wife Cozy.
She is moth wife Cozy.
Someone left the window open, and now this is in here.
It's fine. She doesn't bite
Is it fine?
much.
She is going to lay eggs in my long sleeve shirts, and I'm going to get upset.
I just take a little nibble. It's alright, a little nibble, you know, a little nibble.
She's just gonna chew holes in all of your cotton clothes.
Cotton is tasty, won't lie.
I've got a video. I've got a special treat here that'll probably be, Hydra will probably enjoy it quite a bit, but I think Cozy's going to be the real winner here when it comes to enjoying or hating this content. Either way, she's definitely going to feel it in a real way.
Oh boy. Goody. So excited.
Oh yeah.
I'm ready.
So this is Pharaoh that we're watching Ssethtzeentach review. Pharaoh is an old city, like, civilization management game. I never played it. I did play a lot of games like it back when I was a kid, because I'm old.
I mean, you are old, but that's okay.
I will actually come to your house, and I will take the little inserts out of your shoes.
No, not my inserts. I have bad feet. No.
And they're about to get a whole lot worse, damn it.
No, Dan, no.
I love the dynamic between you two.
Listen, all right? I'm a spiteful man. I will come over there, and I will steal wool, your cast iron.
Oh my goodness.
I am stunned. I am offended. And I'm speechless.
Anyway, Pharaoh, also featuring
Yay.
Caesar's 3. Caesar's 3? Caesar 3. Salad.
Caesar salad? Yeah.
What are those salads? I don't know. Who eats a salad?
All right. I don't like how seductively he's staring at us.
I really don't either.
He is like really just looking at us being like, why don't you come over here just a little bit?
Sir, I am married. A little uncomfortable. So you just might want to like take a step back.
No, Cozy, you're going in the chair.
No. I don't want to be in the chair. No.
The popcorn's already waiting for you there.
No. I don't want the popcorn.
Yeah, please bring the drinks as well.
No.
Make sure you're in uniform.
I am not wearing the maid uniform. I ate a couple of holes in it. I'm not doing that.
You ate holes in my uniform?
Just a little bit. It was very tasty though.
Hey people, Sseth here. Are you tired of the stressful world of modern video games?
Yes.
Do you want
Absolutely.
something a little more relaxing? Well, this isn't the game for you, because it's been 5 minutes since you checked the religion tab, and Osiris, to put it lightly, is quite upset. Better build a dozen shrines and beg forgiveness. Get cursed anyway.
Okay, all right. If there's
Lose all
anything
your
that I know
crops.
about
Go into
Egypt, is that you do not want to upset Osiris at all.
No. I'm not very familiar with Egyptian mythology. It's actually one of my weaker areas. But yeah, Egyptian gods were exceptionally famous for being very forgiving, if memory serves. Just the gentlest of souls, really.
Yeah. Cozy knows a lot about ancient Egypt, and she is. I have absorbed knowledge from her, like, through osmosis.
And the answer is sure, if you consider a lot of death,
Plague.
hard labor.
I have a very odd question for you.
Okay.
Is it true that Egyptian culture and mythology back in the day was oddly obsessed with the dicks?
Yeah.
They were.
Yeah, I mean, like, look, okay, every culture is obsessed with dicks. Okay, it's literally like a thing.
Okay, fair.
It's literally a thing. But
It's just that they were openly.
yeah, I think if I remember correctly, yeah, a lot of stuff has a lot of pee-pees on it. And, you know, who doesn't love a good pee-pee?
I never saw that in the Natural History Museum.
You didn't look close enough. There's a lot of pee-pees.
Oh, well, I know what I'm doing next time we visit.
I hate that.
I'm just gonna walk around and go, penis, penis, penis.
After the third one, Cozy, I'm going to smack someone on the back and yell goose and run away.
I mean, that's fair.
This feedback loop of famine, which leads to emigration, which leads to more famine. Because once you start the cycle, you don't have enough workers to stop it. Go into debt, pay interest on your debt, go bankrupt, refuse to give up, rebuild your finances,
it sounds a lot like
rebuild
modern
your
day.
faith, rebuild.
very, very modern day. I declare bankruptcy at least 5 times a week.
I mean, it makes perfect sense.
Your city, and then learn about the interesting life cycle of grasshoppers, which, at a certain population density, pump huge amounts of serotonin and transform into locusts. Lose all your crops again. Quit the game and swear you'll never play again. Welcome to Pharaoh, released 20 years ago by Impressions Games.
Okay, sorry to pause like immediately again, right? But locusts are fucking terrifying because if you know anything about like the way that they transform, it's fucking crazy. So the thing about locusts from what I was able to gather and from what I remember is that when enough of them just kind of gather like at the end of like a breeding or hatching season, I should say, fucking polymorph into what is called a locust, which is basically a larger, more ravenous, and far more aggressive version of just a regular grasshopper.
I'm looking this up. They change colors and everything. That's horrifying.
They will change from green to like a yellowish, and they'll get black stripes as well. Also, all of the like little horn structures that they'll have will get bigger and more sharp.
Oh, good.
Oh, see, the only thing I know about locusts is that I had a locust fly in my face once, and I was like, you know what? Outside sounds horrible.
You just start singing the Indoors song from SpongeBob.
I don't like
Indoors.
I don't like the outer net. The outer net is scary. It has bugs.
Pharaoh is considered as one of the most developed, functional, and unforgiving of city builders. To play, you need to rename your music folder and manually play the music on shuffle and repeat, because otherwise it's gonna crash in 5 minutes.
Dude.
Otherwise, it runs pretty damn good on modern spyware. To
Unsee
play the
buddy,
actual
oh
game,
my
you need to
God.
make a family line, a dynasty to follow and develop across the historical progression of the campaign, from the earliest foundations of civilization on the Nile Valley to the triumphant heights of its golden age. It's a lot of fun.
Bro, this sounds like a game I would play and then hate and then play again.
It's also deceptively simple and quickly ramps up in difficulty and complexity until any faith you ever had in your city planning abilities are completely wiped out, leaving only a deep-seated feeling of anguish, despair, and incompetence. Don't worry, I've been there when I built myself a personal mansion and paid myself a
All right, so I'm going to rewind a little bit after I unpause. I need you to hear the story this man is about to say, and I need you guys to tell me this doesn't sound like the most Hydra bullshit you've ever heard in your life.
Oh, come on.
As I am married to you, I'm super well acquainted with the bullshit that you do.
Okay, fine. I will reserve judgment until after I hear the story.
I'm already judging.
Don't worry, I've been there when I built myself a personal mansion and paid myself a pharaoh's salary, thinking that somehow I outsmarted the Egyptian monetary system. Only later did I realize I wasn't making money. I was taking money from my own treasury to pay myself so I could put it back into my own treasury. My profound economic genius did not go unnoticed, because in several months' time, the real Pharaoh attacked my city to save my people from extreme retardation. In the beginning, you're only...
Yeah, that sounds exactly like something Hydra would do, actually. Like, completely exactly.
Okay, look, I don't see the problem because it was going to the same place anyways. It would make you feel a little bit better.
No, because it's going to the same place. You could have just left it there.
Okay, but if it's going to the same place anyways, then what does it matter if it just like stays in my hand for like a day or two?
I'd like to point out that because there's a lack of digital transfer of currency in this era, the real life equivalent of that would be going to the bank, taking out money, walking out of the building, coming back, and handing it back to the teller over and over again.
I don't see the problem.
That is such a waste of energy. I swear that there is a reason that I have the moth cave. Oh my god.
It's not a waste if it makes the brain juices happy.
If I do this, the bank people have to talk to me, and they have to be nice to me.
Exactly. And Cozy knows all about bank people being nice and talking to you.
That was a previous life, yes. And I hated people
Those are the dark
exactly
times.
like Hydra. Hi, hello. I am so happy to talk to you again.
Concerns are food, water, and preventing your mud hut from spontaneously combusting. In ancient Egypt, most forms
Wait.
of architecture have a habit of exploding into blazing fireballs. Done
Okay,
in
but
a few
wait,
milliseconds.
hold
My
on.
city
Hold on. Why are ancient, like, essentially stone structures catching on fire?
Because you had basically a fire pit, and then you had things around the fire pit, and things around the fire pit can catch on fire.
But why is the stone catching on fire?
To be fair, it's not the stone. It's the immense amount of oil that's everywhere that's probably lighting up like a Christmas tree.
You know what?
That's a
Good
very
point.
fair point. That's a fair point.
All that incense and myrrh and all that frankincense.
Oh my god, the essential oil people that came back around.
It's a vicious cycle of homeopathy.
The vicious cycle. Oh my god. Somebody's running out of the burning down building going, I have peppermint oil for that.
You got a man on the ground going into cardiac after watching his house get destroyed and he lost everything. Don't worry, if you smell like lavender, the heart palpitations will stop.
I have
Osiris will bless you.
Osiris will bless you and you'll be kept safe from Anubis.
I have some hibiscus oil that really helps with the nerves.
architect and a fire station, because without them, in a few milliseconds, my city will look like this. Your needs grow with the people, and you always need more people to run the city. This process is encouraged by the fact that as you satisfy their needs, dwellings will upgrade automatically, both visually and mechanically, as they accommodate wealthier residents. Your reward for a well-managed city is a city that doesn't look like shit. So, unless you want to stare at mud huts all day, we need to talk about the essentials of Egyptian life. Ancient Egypt invented many great things, such as crime and punishment. The mark of an advanced civilization is a police station. Unfortunately, Pharaoh was an older game in the series, which still worked on the principle of employers having to manually find their employees. This means they have to walk out, and if they don't find any housing, they can't access the labor pool. In the residential sector, this is
nobody
problem.
fucking lives
in the industrial
here.
sector, I don't have an easy way of saying this, but I am compelled by the mechanics of a game to form a ghetto. Yes, there's more ethical ways to reach the workforce.
You're
oh my
kidding.
god, it comes back around. Everywhere needs a ghetto.
Simply gentrify the population centers. After all, what do they have to complain about? Jobs are plentiful, taxation is fair, and undisclosed income will be recovered one way or another. Back to the better part of the city.
Dude.
One of the most central parts of life in ancient Egypt was religion. Each city recognizes a number of different gods, and they demand worship. There's obviously more, but in Pharaoh, you worship one of the big five: Osiris, Ra, Ta, Set, and Bast, which respectively control the flood, the kingdom,
all
pottery,
super cool, by the way.
destruction,
Like, I've
and
met them.
secondary
They're
toxoplasmosis
very nice.
transmitted
They are very
by
nice.
your cat. Make them happy, and you'll get a blessing. That usually helps your city, unless it's a blessing from Ta. Don't worry, mortal. I've resupplied your workshops. What's that? You don't have a weaver, jeweler, or shipmaker? Well then, my work here is done. Oh, that's a nice empty storage yard you have there. I'm gonna fill it with clay. Appeasing the gods isn't
fuck
easy.
yeah.
You'll need to develop OCD
yeah, clay.
and check the religion tab every few
Clay.
seconds to see
Fuck
how
yeah,
long
clay.
you have until the next meltdown. Gods have to be
Look,
honored
if
by
okay,
throwing festivals.
if
as
Minecraft has taught me anything, it's that clay is like fucking gold, dude.
Isn't Minecraft where you had that like really scary wheel of making villagers?
The very luxury house that I put them got at least 4 whole walls. This is true. What the is that, Ruff? This is just a guy.
Hi.
He's not supposed to be in here, but you know, the rest of this is just a farm. They make food, which makes them happy, and then they make babies, and then the babies are supposed to fall in there. This one somehow didn't and then grew up. So all he's ever known was this little area with beds. What kind of Viet Cong BOW camp is this? The kind that I make so that I can get however many villagers I want, which they're somehow getting hurt because there's more than 24 of them. Oh, you mean my concentration camp?
Yeah, the concentration camp.
Yeah.
Yep.
Dan, make sure to put in a
God.
clip of my concentration camp right here.
I prefer the term breeding factory.
I mean, that is what it was. It was kind of a breeding factory.
My breeding camp.
God, welcome to my eugenics university where my villagers make more villagers, but only certain kinds.
You have until the next meltdown. Gods have to be honored by throwing festivals as often as physically possible. You see, the only way to
Understandable.
delay divine punishment
We
is
love a good
getting
festival.
shit-faced and drinking copious amounts of alcohol. When you vomit, Osiris smiles. Don't be surprised. Ancient Egyptian mythology is very colorful.
This is the part I needed Cozy to see.
Oh, Lord.
Oh boy.
So, strap in.
Oh, boy.
I will pause when it is time to pause. Don't you fret.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So our life is in your hands. Got it.
It sure
I'm scared.
is.
And I think that's best depicted in the Osiris myth. Most of my retelling comes from the Plutarch account, which has its own issues, but we largely had to piece this all together. Ancient Egyptians believed that words carried power, so the more negative or unsavory parts of stories were often never recorded, because simply writing them would manifest the words into reality.
I mean, you're not
All right.
wrong.
So, yeah, is that actually correct, Cozy, that they that was a thing?
That is a thing. That is a thing. They did do a lot of writing, obviously, but you never really wanted to speak about something bad happening as
Gotcha.
it would manifest.
So if you weren't allowed to write about all the bad things that happened because it would make them manifest, what the fuck does that mean about all the bad shit that they wrote about?
Those were usually written, I believe, by other people.
Listen, don't worry about the bad things that were written, Hydra. Worry about the ones that weren't.
Yeah, so it was kind of like you would have Bob, Egyptian Bob, telling Greek Bob about the terrible plague that happened, and then Greek Bob would write it down.
I like to imagine they're exactly the same person with the same name, but for some reason Greek Bob has one of those little accent marks over some letter in his name.
No, Greek Bob just has a toga.
Listen, the Greeks were just spinach Italians, then and now.
Yes, actually.
Yeah.
Anyway, goes like this. Osiris rules over Egypt. Set didn't like that, so he invites him to a dinner party, during which he loudly proclaims there's a gift at the end. It's a chest, but he'll only give it to whoever fits inside. Every guest tries the chest, but none of them fit except Osiris. As he hops into the chest, Set and his goons lock him inside, decapitate and dismember him into 42 pieces, and throw him downriver. Osiris's grieving wife Isis and his side hoe Nephis team up to find the missing pieces, including his dismembered penis. In one version, they find everything
there it
except
goes.
his penis, which has, of course, been devoured by a fish. This may explain the lack of fish in ancient Egyptian diets, probably because, as far as they were concerned, they were dick eaters. Isis naturally asks Thoth, god of magic, to make him a new penis instead, the dimensions of which were never stated.
So, okay, so the legends that I had grown up on was that they were never able to find his pee-pee, and that nobody wanted to eat fish because the fish are pee-pee eaters. And who wants to eat a pee-pee eater? By the way, I learned about this when I was like 7. I had learned that fish are pee-pee
What a
eaters.
messed up household you had.
It was interesting.
Listen, I was normal. I grew up watching more wholesome programs that taught me way less deviant and degenerate lessons, like South Park.
See, I got read these stories and watched a lot of Nova. If you've ever seen Nova, that you would understand. So I had heard about the pee-pee eater fish, and that's why nobody wanted to eat fish. But also, I did not know that they had requested a new pee-pee. I thought that he was just... I had always just remembered that he was just pee-pee-less, and that everybody was just a little sad about not having a pee-pee.
Peepulous behavior, am I right, fellas?
At this point, they preserve a body, making him the first mummy. Then Isis posthumously bangs Osiris's undead body and gets knocked up. However,
Oh, yeah, I
Osiris
did
is
hear about that.
incomplete, so he pieces out and goes on to become king of the afterlife. Isis gives birth to Osiris's son, Horus. In the meantime, Set has usurped control of the kingdom. That is, until Horus grows up and challenges him
One
for
could
the
say
throne
Set
of Egypt.
is
This takes almost
Set.
80 years, during which they transform into hippos and bite the shit out of each other. Isis attempts to intervene and harpoon Set, but accidentally stabs her son instead. In a perfectly natural response to your mom accidentally harpooning you, Horus decapitates his mother. Don't worry, it's not fatal,
Understandable.
as Thoth steps in, slaps the stump, and replaces it with a head of a cow, which is why Isis is often depicted so. Anyway, where
Huh. Okay. Yes.
Just yes.
That's
I
it.
don't,
That's all it needs.
I don't have
to
any
be.
extras to add to that.
No notes.
But yes, I do remember the accidental spearing and then the how dare you and decapitation. That was fun. I mean, a reasonable
That
response.
I like how he hasn't really told any jokes during the entirety of this story
No.
of the mythology.
Nope, this is just how ancient Egypt is.
It's just how it is.
Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, Set sexually assaults Horus. I mean, we went from dick-eating fish to this. Did you really think it would be safe for work just because it's Egypt? Let me give you some context. Ancient Egyptians believed semen was a very potent substance. In other words, poison. Set came inside
Oh.
Horus, which made him physically ill and made Set a homosexual. Except no homo, because it's all about power dynamics and mental gymnastics with these people. Horus survives because he caught the semen. With what? With his hands, of course. I imagine he just slapped it away. Then Isis straight up puts Horus's semen on lettuce. Man, don't judge, okay? Find you a mom that cares. Find you a mom that'll help you prank your friend by putting a little extra seed in his salad. Set consumes the cum cabbage and gets impregnated by his rival. Set loses the throne of Egypt, and Horus takes his rightful place on the throne because, after eating another dude's nut, getting your own torn off, and tearing out his eyeballs only to proverbially give birth to them once again is kind of a low blow to your reputation. And that is the Osiris myth.
fuck?
I bet they never teach that shit in schools. It's also
yeah.
relevant because Pharaoh is seen as the physical incarnation of Horus. But back to religion. The gods are fickle. You've got local deities.
What a wonderful wholesome tale.
Look, Egypt is look. Okay, look. So Egypt has had a very long, rich history, okay, and it
it was long and rich, all right, by
Yeah.
the tales of it.
I mean,
I don't know if rich is the right word. I'd use savory, salty,
a little sweaty.
viscous.
Uh,
Tastes like
I need
pennies.
to back. Oh god, I need to backtrack a little bit just so you can see something. I never noticed this the
Coom
first
does
time.
not equal affection.
have never held
we
hands.
never held hands. I ain't gay, it's dominance.
Dude, this is some Chad math about trying to explain why you kissed your best friend.
Yeah, virgin
Right.
calculus versus Chad gay math.
Satisfying the gods is a delicate balancing act of wasting all your money on temples, but never spending too little or too much that they get
I just
jealous
love that.
and burn
Dad.
your city to the ground. Aside from the spiritual need for faith, your people have a physical need for entertainment. This is where being illiterate
yes.
really hurts. If you haven't
Right
read
in
tutorials,
circuses.
you'll know how to place the entertainers, but no idea how to place the venues. If it shows red, that's because your road is wrong. But how do you make it right? Well, as a child, I made every road shape possible until finally one of them snapped in place and became green. Once you've got that down, entertainment is
The
sorted.
classic.
Look at them. Not a phone in sight. Just people living in the moment. Dying of malaria. Unless you want your entire workforce to be wiped out by a plague, consider implementing universal health care everywhere except the ghetto. Insurance
I love that
coverage doesn't
the
extend to my
icon
work
of
camps
death
because
is just a fucking gigantic skull on the house.
Well, how else
See,
would
I
you
like to
know?
imagine it's not an icon. I like to imagine that like there's a dead family in there, and one of the city planners walked up the stairs and literally mounted a gigantic ceramic skull on the rooftop, facing out to the streets as a warning to others.
Yeah, no, that's what they do.
See, and as a goth, I just thought that was a really cool decoration. So I was like, yeah,
It's
skulls.
Halloween every month here.
It's true though. Halloween lasts for
there-
fucking ever.
Look, there's a 6 on that one. That's 1/3 of Satan.
Oh my god.
Okay, but for real though, when living with this moth, Halloween lasted like immediately after July.
Midnight on
God.
July 5th, to be precise.
It's Halloween. Let's get spooky. It's July. It's Halloween. Let's get spooky.
It's Halloween. Shut the fuck up.
Pharaoh was a very aesthetic game, and it still is. You've got a lot of options for beautification, from plazas to gardens to statues you can choose and rotate by pressing the R key. Primarily, you're going to use them to inflate property values, but there's also another lesser-known purpose to statues, dealing with wild animals. Normally, the only response to an animal
damn, how big is that
fatality
scorpion?
is police brutality. If an animal is not beaten,
That's how big they
a
get that
citizen
back then.
gets
Scorpion-sized.
eaten. However, you
That's
can
not
block off
scorpion-sized.
predators
You know
by
what? I don't wanna
surrounding
go to
them
Egypt.
with several dozen Picklethink statues. This method only applies to members of the animal kingdom, which doesn't include water demons. Do you know how many police officers it takes to kill one hippopotamus? I tested this. I lose 5 men.
Wait, do hippos not count as animals in this game?
No, they're water demons.
Just like they are in real life, obviously.
Okay, look, fair. I do know that hippos are like the most dangerous animal in Africa.
It's up there. Yeah.
When I was a kid, I had a friend who just loved hippos, and I had to ruin her poor innocent life because I had to show her a video of a hippo eating a watermelon and just completely destroying it. And I was like, now imagine your head.
See, I thought you said you were going to say that you were going to show her a video of a hippo just absolutely destroying a person. And I was like, you know what? I was ready to believe that you would have such videos, have access and knowledge to such videos as that.
Now, see, that was a couple years later.
Done up.
For every hippo. I could send in the army, but then they run to water and toggle God mode. I've learned to accept that there's nothing I can do about this, except increase the music volume to try and drown out the screaming. With development comes prosperity. Trade is an essential component of any city, and without profitable exports, you're going to run out of money. Don't worry, if this happens, Pharaoh will send you a stimulus check, because he's literally printing his own money. I recommend declaring bankruptcy at least once each mission. Hey, it's free money, and I'm gonna
The more
take
things
it. Anyway,
change, the
each
more they
city
stay
can
the
only
same.
make certain goods. Everything else
Correct.
you're gonna have to import. Not only that, but your neighbors and the Pharaoh himself might make requests of your city. On paper, it's a gift. In reality, it's an obligation. Oh, you didn't send food when we had a famine? Then forget about trading, because my people are dead. You know those blocks of sandstone you never delivered? They're still missing from my pyramid. And if you don't meet the second deadline, your shoulders will be missing a head. Even with trade, there's still the issue of balancing your budget. Your people have to be paid after all. To this end, you need to build a palace. Without a palace, your palace cannot be robbed. It also allows you to make tax collectors. Tax collectors exist to be shanked in the open street while everyone watches. They're
Correct.
essential for your city. This game taught me an important lesson.
I would just follow the
Economics
tax
is a
collector
closed
around
loop.
at that
All the
point,
wages
just
you
for
ever
fun.
spend, you get back through taxation, which at 9% is fair and stable. Pumping
Does that mean that the tax collector is he's just a loot drop?
I mean,
Yes.
he is technically, if you look at
Oh,
it that
God.
way.
He is the Diablo loot goblin.
Oh no.
You drop
Aw, man.
everything and chase after the loot goblin to kill him.
Tax collector,
Oh, no.
go!
which at 9% is fair and stable. Pump it too high and your city will quickly become a ghost town. I tested this, and unfortunately, you can't build a tax prison, whereby you lure immigrants into your city with low taxation, then suddenly pump the tax rate to 25, and prevent them from leaving with a double-layer thick perimeter of solid stone. It turns out the desire to emigrate is so strong that people simply phase through walls, reinforcing the theory that even lower on Maslow's hierarchy of needs is
I wish I
the
could phase through
physiological
walls.
requirement for a human being to evade taxation. Ancient Egypt was a real powerhouse and evoked a lot of jealousy. I would be too if I lived in a desert. Understandably, they're here to take your crops and murder you. Invasions are common, so combat is inevitable. And I'll be real with you, it's not very good. Most of it boils down to how many bodies and planks of wood can I throw at the enemy. That is, until you get chariots, which were considered by many during the time period to be imbalanced, pay-to-win bullshit.
Fun fact, that was true.
No, it is true, because chariots were basically the tanks of the ancient era.
They were disgusting, especially because it didn't take long for them to start hooking up blades to the sides of the damn thing's wheels, if memory serves.
Correct.
Yeah, they did.
And also, the thing about Egypt is that it's quite a lot of very flat, even ground. That's not very rough terrain. So it's kind of
where do you hide?
Exactly.
Where do you?
Well, also
yeah. So if the chariot's just coming at you, you don't got anywhere to go.
Well, there's that, and it's also just the fact that the chariot can go however fucking fast it wants to, because it's got flat, open ground, and it doesn't need to care about how bumpy everything is.
Isn't that how Tutankhamun died? Didn't he die by a carriage accident?
I thought Tutankhamun died because he was an inbred.
I mean, other than that.
Yeah, the chariot, the horses that were pulling the chariot took one look at his chromosomes and went, ew, and they kicked him to death.
I mean, same. If I remember correctly, Tutankhamun was actually really ugly because of all the inbreeding.
Oh yeah, in 2013 there was a new theory that about a chariot crash potentially being what killed him.
Oh,
yep.
Interesting.
Prior to that, it was believed he was infected with malaria.
Fucking mosquitoes.
Fucking mosquitoes, dude.
And apparently he had suffered a compound leg fracture.
Could that have been because he couldn't fucking walk right because he was so inbred?
Yes, it wasn't an accident. What ended up happening was that the genes in his own body were freaking out, and they started pushing his bones out of his thighs.
Alternatively, you could just pray to Set, so once your enemies reach the map, they'll fall to the ground and be recorded as a COVID death. Above all, Egyptian civilization revolved around one thing: building the sickest tombs. Think of the richest man alive right now in Anno Domini 2020. Now consider that he hasn't even prepared a modest mastaba to serve as his mausoleum. The ancient Egyptians believed that the afterlife was a complicated affair. First, you
Okay, wait. So, all right, this is tangentially related. So he said that, he implied that Jeff Bezos doesn't have a tomb, right, where he will be laid to rest, right?
Right.
So it's not confirmed, but it is heavily theorized that Jeff fucking Bezos is part of that program where it's like the moment that he dies, his entire body will be frozen to try to revive him in the future. Apparently it's that basically everybody that's like super fucking rich will have this happen to them. I don't think it's everybody, but I do think that it's like probably the biggest, craziest people. And we all know about Jeff fucking Bezos.
To be honest, if I had an obscene amount of money, I would do it too.
I sometimes think about what I would do if I had that kind of money, and I realize very quickly, not much, as it turns out, because I'm too boring for that. I feel like I would spend it on like essentials and the occasional dumb thing, but then once every 10 years, some unbelievably extravagant thing I'd use once for a shit post, and then, carry on.
I'd spend a lot on guns.
I would buy an entire yarn store and then just have my own brand of yarn.
I bought an entire castle here in Scotland and then moved the entire homeless population of Edinburgh into it. I have installed security cameras and I am live streaming the results to Twitch. You're all welcome.
Dude, yeah, same actually. I was right about to say I would like do a whole bunch of like social experiments and shit like that if I just had an unlimited amount of money.
All right, for this amazing new video we have, I have rounded up 50 vagrants from the streets of England, and I've put them in a room for an experiment to see how 50 vagrants react when locked in a room with deadly lasers.
Dude, you just turn into Mr. Beast.
Just turn into GLaDOS and Mr. Beast.
Just for the funsies of it, why not?
I put 100 homeless people into a room with one sandwich in between them.
Don't worry, I'm gonna say all this with that lifeless, emotionless glare in my eyes.
Yeah, I know, the fake smile is all part of it.
Oh, you gotta love the dead glare, though, in the eyes.
I know, there's nothing going on back there.
Yeah, it's all glazed over, it's just empty, but the smile is there.
It's really more of the same, except some guy called Moses keeps messing with the RGB settings of your river, and will continue to do so until Pharaoh finally has enough and decides to free the Jews. This game also comes with a surprisingly functional and intuitive map editor. I even made one myself, with a custom script that generates crime every month of the year to try and simulate the average inner city neighborhood of a new world. As a game that's nearly older than most of the people on this platform, it's still got the best soundtrack, the best visuals, and the most functional design of all city builders. Pharaoh, like the pyramids, was built to last, and I give it my highest recommendation. It is by no means easy, but all things worth doing are difficult. And what's the most difficult thing of all? Maintaining civilization.
Okay, that dude didn't even fucking try.
Can ever last.
Just straight up just hit
Empires
him.
rise and empires fall, and so did Egypt to the Roman Empire. Caesar Free is practically a carbon copy of Pharaoh, but hey, Roman religion was pretty much a carbon copy of the Greeks, and I'm gonna get to that in the future. On the other hand, they did invent shitposting. It's maybe comforting or humbling to remember that no matter how much time has passed between us, the hopes, dreams, and motivations of fellow humans remains very much the same. The only difference is that instead of spending your time killing Nubians, you'll be spending your time killing the Scottish. Caesar Free was very progressive for its time, as it accepted the harsh
I am
truth
Scottish,
that
so
you
I can confirm.
Abracadabra.
Fun fact, right? So he said that shitposting was invented by the Romans, right?
Yeah.
That reminded me of a thing where in a Saxon church around the time of the Vikings, there was one inscription found that was believed to be the oldest graffiti ever. All it said in Norse runes, essentially, was like, blank was here. And it was written into the roof of a church.
Dedication right there.
Dedication to just the fucking trolling.
I was gonna say shitposting has been a thing for forever, because we are human, and human will survive forever.
As it accepted the harsh truth that you could bring civilization to Britain, but you could never bring Britain to civilization. Unlike Pharaoh, most of the messages you get are actually animated. The voice acting is way better.
If more food doesn't arrive soon, there won't be anyone left to pay any tax.
Combat doesn't suck ass.
Not
and
Roman
it actually
accent, but,
runs on
fair
modern
enough.
systems. Despite all
Close
this,
enough.
it is 1 year older than Pharaoh. So, what's the downside? Well, there's no monuments. But on the bright side, there's no monuments. Overall, if you're concerned about hypertension, Caesar Free is the better option. It's not the anxiety-inducing disaster spiral that is Pharaoh, but I also highly recommend it. It's a wonderful game about the greatest of empires.
You got through those funds quickly. Try to make these new funds last longer.
But like
okay,
any
that's
empire, it too had to collapse. The fall of
Shut
the
the
Roman
fuck up,
Empire
man, or
sent
else
us
I'm gonna get me
tumbling
and
into the
7 of
Dark
my
Ages,
buddies.
a long period of technological decline where the only video game you had was Dark Souls, and it took us nearly 1,000 years for humanity to finally recover. If you're interested, GOG isn't selling a bundle. Activision flaked out. So instead, use my link and you get a discount on not only Pharaoh, but also Caesar Free and pretty much every game I've ever sold on GOG. Enjoy. As always, more content to come next year. Merry Christmas. We don't celebrate Christmas here because we killed Jesus, but don't let that stop you. A warm thanks to the many members of a Merchants Guild generously funding and bankrolling these videos for over 2 years now, which I neither expect nor deserve, but I count my blessings and I'll try to make it worth your time. Please take care of yourselves, stay safe, and happy holidays.
Cozy, this got mentioned at the end of the first React video. All of this time you see left on the video runtime is just how many Patreon backers he has.
Oh my god. Well, go get that bread, man. Like, damn.
I know, like, holy hell.
Like, okay, if I had this many Patreon backers, like, no fucking shit, I would release a video like every 3 fucking months. I could live off of that for 3 months.